All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Let me do some stuff to my headphones here. I can make them uh, block out the external noise a little bit better for you on the microphone side of things.
Oh, all right.
If I figure out how to do that.
There is a button on the side of the where it says recording. On the side it says um you can take out um the
Echo.
can't yeah, but it sounds fine to me.
Okay. Works for me. I need to grab one thing from upstairs that I forgot, and then I'm ready to go. Apologize.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm running a
oh,
couple minutes late.
it's all right.
I'll be right there.
Maybe just gotta just stop it. That's all right. I don't know, wanted to just wanted to chat with you.
All right.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Happy to do so. So I am Martin Wilson. I am born and raised in the Kansas City area and work for a large insurance brokerage here in Kansas City called Lockton Companies. I have a beautiful wife, three children. It's boy, girl, 7 years old, 3 years old, and about 1.5. And I spend the vast majority of my time trying to do the balancing act of keeping the wife happy, the kids happy, and doing what I need to do at work to remain valuable and keep earning a good income for everybody. So, right now, at this stage of my life, that's the vast majority of everything that I do. Obviously, I have some other interests. Big sports fan like the Royals and the Chiefs and Kansas State. Really enjoy getting out and participating in either live sporting events or playing sports myself. But now that I'm in the latter half of my 30s, and very busy with work and family and all of that, it's harder and harder to do those kinds of things. I'm also a big gamer, so I spend a lot of time in the evenings playing with friends who also enjoy playing online video games. And so that's probably the best way for me to get social engagement is to jump online with a couple of buddies and play, whatever the next hot thing is that we like playing and get absolutely destroyed by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Oh,
So that's about the extent of it, though. Yeah. We definitely feel old when we play online and, get beat up by a bunch of middle schoolers. It's very humbling.
is there a favorite game you like to play?
It kind of comes and goes with what's trendy at the time. Right now, Apex Legends is the game that we enjoy the most. It's a first-person shooter, battle royale type game. Um, I can play it for about 2 hours at a time before it gets stressful enough that I need to maybe go to like a FIFA or another sports game. But it's a lot of fun. But it's a perfect example of the middle school kids with much better eye-hand coordination than I have at this stage of my life, just absolutely crushing me, making me feel like a dinosaur.
Oh, oh. So like, does your son play it too, or is it too dirty?
Yeah, that game in particular, we don't let him play because it's a little violent. He's 7 in first grade, so that day is probably rapidly approaching. But he's a big video game fan. He has a Nintendo Switch. And so he spends a lot of time playing the various Mario games, some vintage, like what I played growing up, and some of the newer ones, which are a lot of fun for all of us, honestly.
Yeah.
He's really big into Minecraft. He's gotten into Minecraft in the last year and a half or so, which is fun for me because I don't know the first thing about it, or didn't know the first thing about it when he got into it. And so it's something that we've kind of had to figure out together. And then at some point, he well eclipsed me, and now he knows a lot more about it than I do. And he teaches me whenever we're hanging out playing it together. So, that's a lot of fun. One of the things that I've learned to appreciate about, my kids is like, obviously that they're their own unique human being. And while I want them to like and do all the things that I like and do so that we can do it together, the more that I kind of sit back and let them show me what they enjoy and what they're passionate about, what I've realized is we still have a tremendous amount of fun, and it's something that they genuinely appreciate or are enthusiastic about, rather than just doing it because they think they should like it because I like it. And so I work really hard. I'm not perfect at it, but I work really hard at not trying to impress, watching Chiefs games or playing video games or any of the other stuff that I do onto them, but rather kind of let them bring activities, games, passions to me, and I try and share that with them as much as I can. And it's sincerely a lot of fun, and it's exposed me to a bunch of stuff that I would never have really given the time of day before. Minecraft is a perfect example. I would never have picked that game up and played it on my own volition. But the times that I play it with my son are some of the best times, because I know it makes him really happy. It's time that I get to spend with him, and it's something new that I'm learning. But thankfully, he's also come around on being a big Chiefs fan and a big Royals fan, so we do have all of that in common, and that sure is fun as well. Because I had that with my dad growing up, and so it's a lot of fun to, be on the other side of that experience and be the dad and know, all the history and all the rules, and help him kind of learn the game and learn the team and learn the players. Similarly to how, my dad did that with me. So that's a very fun experience. And both of my boys are kind of head over heels in love with all things sports right now, which is, for somebody like myself who's really passionate about that stuff, it's very fun. We're having a good time.
That sounds fun, I guess. Now, about the game, is the one you were saying, does it, like, I don't know how to explain it, but isn't it with weird characters in it?
Yeah. Yes. It is a game that 5 years ago me would be ashamed to admit he plays. It's got kind of a fantastical element to it, which has not really been my profile, but it's a first person shooter, which I've always enjoyed those, Call of Duty, with an element of, kind of special abilities and like fantasy characters, basically. But when it came out and I got into Apex, there was kind of a hole in the battle royale first person shooter world where there wasn't an incumbent that was really popular that everybody was playing. That was a lot of fun to, team up with 3 or 4 guys and play with. And it came heavily recommended. So I gave it a shot and was really resistant to it at first. And it's just a really well made game. It's really well executed. And there have been a couple of others that have kind of come into the scene since I started playing it that normally I would have been attracted to those, but the games aren't as good. And so I'm kind of sticking with it, even though it's definitely not traditionally what the profile game that I've enjoyed is. But yeah, there's special abilities and a lot of sort of Game of Thrones or Harry Potter like
Hmm.
attributes that these different characters have, which is again not really down the middle of the fairway for me, but I really enjoy it, so I'm just gonna go with it. But it does make it feel a lot nerdier. Not that playing video games late at night with a bunch of buddies isn't already pretty nerdy, but when you
Yeah,
layer
yeah.
in the type of game, it gets a little worse.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Super Mario, and then
Yeah.
last Christmas last Christmas I got the Switch, the handheld one. And then I don't know, but Asher just like asked for it to borrow it, and then I haven't received it back. So, I mean, I wish I had it
Uh-oh.
back. So it's kind of that is a
Did he
problem
commandeer
there.
it?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Well, Asher and my son are very good friends, and I'm very certain that my son was a bad influence on Asher when it came to wanting a Switch, because he got one, admittedly, probably on the earlier end of, relative to all of his friends. And he takes it everywhere and he shows it off and he always wants to play it. And I think he and Asher were hanging out and playing it. And I think he got hooked. So that might be my fault.
Yeah.
that influence might be coming from the Wilson household a little bit.
Well, you know how it is. Hopefully, I'll get it back one day. Um,
Yeah. Well, if we gotta, you know, maybe get Asher his own Switch. Maybe Santa can come and get him one so you can get yours back.
yeah, yeah. Well, I told Lindsay like, it would be nice to have it back after Christmas. So you got your chance now. Now, Uncle Dan needs his
There you go.
Switch back. But
Yeah. It's very nice of Uncle Dan to lend his Switch, though. That's a nice thing for you to do, as long as you get it
yeah,
back.
yeah, and not broken.
No guarantees there.
But you never know. I don't know. But I did have all the other games as like from the oldie games, like the all the systems back in the day.
Were you a PlayStation guy or were you an Xbox guy?
PlayStation.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was too at first.
I took that to college as a used as a DVD player, but and then when everything else kind of that died down of like the um just playing with it, I guess it just broke, and I said, okay, well, I'm just keeping the device, and then just hopefully I can get a new thing that goes to it or something, a new system or I don't know. But I do have all the other ones like the Wii and some of the other cool ones back in the day that they came out.
Yeah, I wish I would have hung on to all of my old ones through the years because it would be a lot of fun to have now. Um, Games and just the consoles and the controllers, and it's amazing how much it's changed since we were playing it growing up. It's a totally different thing now.
Yeah, most of them are at Lindsay's house. So I mean, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
I need to stop over and play with Asher for a weekend. We
yeah,
can drink Mountain Dew and eat Cheetos.
yeah. Um, what's that like? What's a day in the life as a dad for you with the kids?
Yeah. Um, well, so I'm very fortunate. My wife, Kendra, um, stays home with our children. And so a day in the life for me is kind of a tricky balance between, being the sole financial provider and making sure that I'm engaged as much as I can be or should be to earn for the family. But also, knowing when to sort of hit pause on that and be home to be a good husband and a good father. Because, by the time 5:30, 6 o'clock rolls around, Kendra's done school pickups and nap times and lunches and dinners and
Mm-hmm.
um, everything in between. And that's a very taxing day. And so um, I know everybody's excited for me to come home and kind of shake things up. I know the kids are excited to see me and, get that 2-ish hours of that we have together, try and get as much playtime in as we can. I know coming home is a good sort of timeout for Kendra to catch her breath and be able to transition her day to, the evening and what, preparing for the next day and what all that entails. And so for me, we get up in the morning, Kendra gets the kids ready for school. Our two oldest children, both boys, are going to school full time. And so she gets them ready while I get ready for work. I drop them off, and then I go to the office, and I'm there usually until about 5:30, plus or minus a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, depending on what's going on. And then um, come home, and I try to, put the phone down and drop the stress and anxiety of the workday, and not let that be a distraction, and just try my hardest to maximize that couple of hours that I have with the kids. And that can be anything from, I coach my oldest son's t-ball slash machine pitch now, baseball teams and basketball teams. So sometimes it's a practice or a game. Sometimes it's practicing spelling words. Sometimes it's just, going in the basement and playing with every toy under the sun and making a huge mess. But, it's just about trying to maximize time with them. And it's about trying to, bring them to me so that Kendra can have a bit of a breather. Um, so that's a typical work day. I mean, it's kind of go, go, go. About 7:30 or so, the kids, do the whole tubs and beds, and usually by 8:15, they're all down. And then Kendra and I have a couple of hours to eat dinner and unwind ourselves. And then on the weekends, Daniel, we're pretty social. We're usually doing
Yeah.
something on top of soccer practices and baseball games and basketball games. And so it's really just kind of, I take it one day at a time. I wake up in the morning and it's pull up the phone, you look at the calendar and you go, okay, here are the 3 or 4 things we've got to do today. And Kendra, which ones are you doing? Which ones am I doing? Which ones are we doing as a collective family? And who needs to be where and when? And it's just kind of a hold on for dear life scenario for a couple of days. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely never dull. Um, but I look at some other households that have two working parents, and I think that they've got a slightly different dynamic. I don't know if one's better than the other, but it's certainly different. Where I feel like both husband and wife are, um, focused on trying to get their time with the kids.
Yeah.
And for me, I kind of view my time as my time with the kids. Um, and obviously, I love it when Kendra's there and we're doing activities as a family. But I say that because I sort of try and dual purpose that time as an opportunity to give her the break that she needs, because her day has been really difficult and she hasn't had a chance to sit down and catch her breath at any point. And there's admittedly probably a little bit of guilt in there too, because the four of them are together, you know, throughout the day, and I'm off on an island, and so I just don't get to spend as much time with them. And so um, when I get home, I like to try and step into that as much as I can, so that I, don't just blink and 2 years have gone by and I haven't spent any time with my kids because I've been working the whole time. But it's a
Did
tough
you?
balancing act. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. I don't think I'm unique in that
Yeah,
regard.
that's true. So, did you have fun on Halloween? Did you dress up at all?
Yeah, we had a great time. I don't really dress up for Halloween usually. I'm usually the one who's going out trick or treating with the kids, and Kendra will stay home we host her family every year. And so it's my mother-in-law, father-in-law. I have two sisters-in-law and a brother-in-law, and all the spouses and kids are over here. One of my nephews has a birthday on the 1st of November, so we kind of celebrate a birthday and Halloween on the same day. And so it is a circus, and it's really fun. You've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that are all sugar rush and excited. Soon to be 7 kids for next year. And it's just, it's a perfect combination of like chaos and fun, equal parts chaos and fun. And so our kids dress up as Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. The oldest was Luigi. He was, he's the tallest. Our middle boy was Mario, and then our daughter, who's 1.5, was Princess Peach. And it was Walter, our oldest, idea, and Kendra executed it perfectly, and it was a lot of fun. So I was running around with them, trying to get as much candy as we could, and mediating the fight. We had 3 meltdowns over who does or does not get to ring the doorbell at a certain house, that I had to mediate. And then my wife and my daughter stayed home with all the other family to give out candy and celebrate the birthday. So we were busy, but it's a lot of fun. And I always kind of remember how much fun it was as a kid, right? And my dad being there, doing kind of the same thing. My mom would stay home, my dad would go out with the kids, and it's such a core memory. It was such a fun time as a child growing up. And so, there's a part of me that wants to make sure it's perfect, right? That they have the best night ever, which is impossible. And that's an expectation that no one's going to live up to. But it's really fun in that moment to kind of think about how this memory that I hold so fondly, hopefully my children will as well, that we're kind of creating that core memory kind of in real time. That's one of the most fun parts of parenting for me, is doing the things as an adult with your children that you remember doing as a child with your parents. And Halloween definitely, all the holidays really kind of check that box and adds an extra layer of excitement, celebration. I mean, it just makes it that much more special.
Now, do you have a favorite holiday you like the most?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Best day of the year, Thanksgiving. It's not even close for me. It's mostly because of the food.
It's I mean, the food is good. It's mostly just, it feels like it's around the corner, but hopefully it will be anytime soon.
I like Thanksgiving because, in my opinion, it's got all the elements of Christmas, the holidays, the time of year, the family, the celebration, without the pressure of finding the right gift and remembering who you have and haven't bought things for, and wrapping everything and bringing them and taking all of them home. And don't get me wrong, I love gift exchanges, but I think they add an element of planning, logistics, stress to the overall holiday thing that Thanksgiving doesn't have. I feel like Thanksgiving, you kind of get all the same stuff, but you get to just kind of kick back and relax and enjoy yourselves. Where Christmas, especially with children, it's such an ordeal, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not trying to sound negative about it, but when I compare the two, for me, Thanksgiving is, I enjoy it a lot more. It's my favorite day of the year. Plus, I don't eat carbs most of the time. So on Thanksgiving, I let myself eat carbs.
Well, that's good.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to say Christmas?
Yeah, I said Christmas. Also, Christmas and my birthday, because my birthday is around the corner of Christmas. So get 2 gifts. You get
when is your
gifts.
Birthday?
The 4th, January.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
you get like a whole year's worth of gifts in about a 2 or 3 week period of time. Not even that, 2 week period of time.
Yeah.
And then you got to sit around and wait for another 12 months for the next onslaught of gifts, huh?
Well, and also the only thing I hate about December is because of the snow, or January of the snow. So it's hard to get out and do something that you want to do.
Not a big snow guy, huh?
No, no, don't
I
like
think you're
it.
living in the wrong place, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it does not snow every year, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
So do you not like the snow or do you not like the cold?
I mean, I don't like the snow. Well, it depends. I mean, this the winter, like the fall is fine. Like the fall kind of that, but I don't really like the the black ice. That's the major problem. Trying to get out of the house and don't slip on the
Yeah.
black ice. So
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. I'm not a big winter fan myself. I much prefer the warmer months.
I mean, I just like the. I mean, it's not like I'm living in California, that where the sun is. It'd be nice, but
True.
I mean,
Yeah, but we're also not in Minnesota where it's, cold 9 months out of the year and incredibly snowy. So we get a little bit of both.
yeah, yeah. So, what's on your plan today? You have anything fun doing with the kids and Kendra?
Yeah. This morning, my 3-year-old son had soccer. He's young enough that soccer practice and games are kind of one and the same. It's not a very form. He's only 3. So he had
Yeah.
a soccer session this morning. We went to that. Currently, my Kansas State Wildcats are playing football. And so my sons and I were watching that. And then this afternoon, I'm going to meet with a handful of other parents from my son's school. And collectively, there's 4 of us. We are coaching the basketball league for all the boys in their grade. There's 24 boys that have signed up to play basketball, and it's a 3-on-3 league at first grade. And so we're going to figure out a way to divide all the kids up amongst the 4 of us, so that it's, we did it last year. We don't want we want to try and mix it up so there's different coaches for every kid and try and mix up the teams so there's different teammates. And so we're going to group up for about an hour and kind of talk through who goes on what team and go through all of that. So that's today. I'll come home from that and we'll just kind of hang out at the house and play and do our regular bedtime thing. And then tomorrow we're going over to your sister's house for the Chiefs game in the morning. It's a big watch party
fun.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're gonna have brunch and football.
There's always something going on at my sister's house.
Yeah, and it's fun because they have kids that are the same age and same gender as my kids, and so they're all very close. And obviously, we're close with your sister and her husband, and so it's kind of easy. I mean, it's just as hard to be here as it is to be there, but at least when we're there, we're with friends. And so we like to do a lot of things together because it's generally speaking, we got the same stuff going on. And so we're kind of like, hey, if we're going to go through all this stuff, we might as well do it with people we like. Yeah. So we're going to get together tomorrow and do that. And then I honestly, Daniel, I don't even know what's on the docket for the rest of the day after that. I'm sure there's stuff on the calendar. I just don't know what it is. Take it one day at a time. I'll find out in the morning when I look and see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go into my sister's house, there's always something to do, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And she's a great hostess. So she's very gracious and likes to have people over and always decorates it to the nines and really goes all out. So I'm expecting it'll be a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah, she does do that for sure. Mm-hmm. She does go crazy with all of her activities that she kind of comes up with. But
yes, she does. How about you? Are you doing anything fun for the rest of the weekend?
Well, I'm gonna do. Well, I just did laundry yesterday, and and then I guess after this, I'm gonna go out to go shopping with my mom, go food shopping. Um, I'm trying to figure out new ideas to make for desserts. So I don't know, something
Yeah,
coming up.
fun.
I don't, just something to do. And I've been
That
just
sounds great.
thinking of different ideas that I want to. Uh, well, a lot of people on that have been following me on my Instagram have been trying to ask me if I wanted to write a book, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's an idea, but I don't know for sure. But no.
I think you should. What would your book be about?
Well, I was thinking of a children's book because I did
Hmm.
write or a cooking book or something with all my favorite desserts that I'd like to do.
I love that.
Yeah, so I've been thinking of doing something like that and talking to the guy that asked me. So I'll maybe book that in December or something. I don't know, something just to talk and don't. I don't know, just an idea what I want to do.
I think it's a good one. You should do it. Make a cooking book for kids.
Yeah, I mean that would be kind of cool to have something
Teach
that.
kids how to make your cookies.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a book that I use and I really love it. It's the mouse book that shows you how to make things on it.
Yeah,
Um, so sometimes they have some good recipes in there, and I make them and then just make a bit bigger batch or something.
that's great. Do you ever do that with any of your nephews, or probably not your niece? She's pretty young, but
No,
do you
no.
ever do any
I
baking
mean,
or cooking with your nephews?
no. I wish. I feel like they don't really like to come over to my house. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah,
I bet
they
they love
don't.
it.
I mean, if they called me more, that would be great. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
3-year-olds aren't great about picking up the phone.
Yeah,
They'll get
well,
there.
yeah, hopefully soon. I mean, I don't know. Well, Reese likes to play these little, um, like a set of dinosaurs, but they're all colors. And she just sits on the floor when she comes over and just puts them in these little bowls and just kind of um, plays with them. They're like little plastic dinosaurs, and that has like
Hmm.
colored balls to it. So
Kind of match
something,
them up.
yeah,
That's fun. It's cute. Doesn't take much to keep them entertained.
no, but she likes them.
Yeah. So there have been a number of times through the years where my kids have spent more time uh, playing with the box that the gift came in than the actual gift itself. So you never know what it is that's going to spark their imagination and get them excited.
Yeah, I was excited that Reese liked her gift that I gave her for her birthday, the teacup set. Um, so
Oh, yes, that was a big hit. That was a big hit.
yeah, I found a
And
really
what's
good
cuter than a
one.
little 2-year-old with a teacup set? Isn't that pretty
Yeah,
special?
yeah.
Yeah,
Had everything. I had food. I had little desserts that goes with it, and so that
that's
was
awesome.
fun.
I didn't realize that's what you got. I saw her playing with that at the party. I didn't realize that that was your gift. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, most of the gifts I find they love. So like
Oh,
the
you're the good gift giving uncle, huh? Is
Yeah,
that your claim to fame?
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I find
That's
that
awesome.
very interesting things like the I think it was last birthdays I gave out a it's like a pen or it's like a paintbrush, and then um the the paint colors were, you couldn't even like mess up the house up with it because it was like magic. So it would go on
Oh,
paper
yeah.
and then it would be a different color.
But you couldn't draw on the walls or the cabinets or anything with
No,
it?
no, no.
Good. Will you get some of those for our kids, please?
Yeah, I look
Yeah.
look
My
at look at.
2-year-old, our first two didn't do that. They didn't draw on surfaces they weren't supposed to. We told them once and they didn't do it kind of thing. Our two or almost 2-year-old is not wired that way. She will color on anything and everything. So we're not used to that.
Hopefully, don't. It's better with stickers, I guess. Be better, but yeah,
Yeah.
stickers. I mean, if you're stickering up the windows, I guess that's not great either. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very destructive to the home to have children. And I'm a perfectionist, so before kids, if there was a imperfection in the paint or a dent in the drywall, like I was figuring out a way to get it fixed and patched and painted to match. And now it's like, honestly, not worth the time to fix it because within a matter of days, it's going to be chipped up and busted again anyway. So we just kind of let it go. You just have to have that mindset that, things are not going to be perfect around the home, but it, adds a little character, makes it feel like it's been lived in and loved in a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think it like I guess I was thinking of like some ideas that I could do for my podcast. And I was thinking of, it would be nice to get a group of guys just to hang out and do something and learn more about fatherhood. Because there's not a lot of people that I guess would like to get people together and just hang out with. They don't really go out that much.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't either, honestly. I mean, I do things that revolve around family and our kids and their events, but I don't, you know, get a sitter and just go out very often anymore.
mhm,
So, I feel that it would be fun I mean, it's a topic that is really fun to talk about because, when you're in it, it's the vast majority of your life and people love talking about the things that they do.
mhm,
And I think that, it's kind of like a lot of topics that have become more in vogue to talk about, mental health or, you know, things that historically been taboo. I don't think men sat around and talked about, the joys of fatherhood and the tactics and the approaches and the things that they've learned and the things they wish they would have done differently. I don't know that that's always been the social norm. But I think it would be an awesome conversation to have with a group of guys that are all kind of either been there or doing that.
mhm.
Because you get a lot of shared experiences and a lot of experiential based wisdom. And I think it would be a really fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
Plus,
So
we get to hang out, which would be fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how do you come up for the ideas for your podcast?
Well, sometimes they just come up in my brain, but I do have a list of like random um questions that I then just get off the internet, or people just had ideas and they just send them to me and I just
Oh, wow.
use them.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I mean, mostly I started Uncles and Fatherhood in college when I became an uncle with Asher. And then
Hmm.
I kind of said, let's do more. And then I did an interview I did like a couple episodes with this guy that I became friends with. And we did a podcast together for a year. And then I kind of wanted to do more. So I kind of just was just really, I guess, more interested in it and just doing it. So.
Yeah. I think it's a great topic.
So then I started doing the giveaways and all that fun jazz that goes with it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's impressive.
Yeah. Something to do.
Well, it's a busy hobby. Good for you.
Oh, thanks. Well, anything else you want to chat about?
Oh gosh, I could go on forever. That's a dangerous question. No, I really appreciate you doing the interview and reaching out to me. It's a lot of fun. I was very flattered, and would love to talk anytime that you would like to talk. And it's been a lot of fun and a real pleasure.
Well, thank you for coming on and taking the time out of your day to do this with me.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
All right. Well, I'll let you know when this is up and going.
Okay, Daniel. That's great. Looking forward to it.
All right. Good chatting.
All right. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye.